Coach, the boys are eating their Wheaties, huh?
They're eating their Wheaties. How many jacks we hit today?
5.
I like a jack. I don't know about y'all, but I like a home run. This team's capable. Y'all go ahead.
But last weekend when they only hit 5 in the first homestand, you said that the power would come, and they proved you right.
Yeah, no, I mean, we hit how many on Sunday against East Carolina? 3?
3.
We hit 3. Obviously, 2 of them were solos. So we want to try to hit those home runs with some guys on base. And but Frick, huge swing of the bat. And then Horvath with 2 outs. You know, that kind of was the dagger for them. Because that's a good offensive club. You know, it's the same club we played in the regional. They lost a lot of arms. But we knew they were good offensively. And they showed it. You know, I thought Jake Knapp was the story of the day. I thought he was outstanding. The one day that our velo board's not working, you know, I'm getting reports he's 93, 95 almost the whole time. And we saw this in Jake. We recruited him. Good command. His off-speed's getting better. They jumped him a couple times on his fastball, but I thought he was outstanding. And then the rest of our pitching staff, we emphasized winning innings 6 through 9. And they were outstanding. He got 2 big outs, even though they were hit hard, but gave them a different look. And then Petey was outstanding on the shutdown innings. Maddie looked great, and Poston looked great. And all their velos are starting to jump, which is normal here. You know, we don't really chase velocity at North Carolina, but we feel like if the guys stay with our program, the velocity is going to be there at the right time. We play great defense.
Obviously, weekend the bullpen was the issue, but not today.
No, you know, we're still figuring out our bullpen. It just happened to be against East Carolina early. I'm sure a lot of people, including myself, when Osuna hit that jack, were like, what in the world was I doing bunting for Osuna? But that's why, you know, early, I love playing a series like that because it's only the 7th game of the season. You know, it stinks to lose. Nobody likes losing, especially not me. I don't sleep until we win again, really, but I still think it can help you. And playing East Carolina, who's a good team, really helped us. You know, this team, it'll make this team better. I know this bunch. They remind me a lot of the 18 group. You know, they need a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and they showed that today. They came out ready to go.
Coach, regarding the bullpen specifically, how do you think that last series and then today's game has kind of taught them the importance of those last few innings?
Yeah, well, you know, we went in the season not knowing. We didn't have a proven closer. So we're trying to figure out who that closer is going to be. We've been talking about 3 guys the whole preseason in Peterson, Matthias, and Pence. You know, we went against the grain a little bit. We went with Zesto because he'd been throwing so many strikes. But when a series like that happens, you look at like, okay, we didn't get beat by walks, right? So we know Coach Gaines and I sat down, went over our whole pitching staff yesterday, and we're like, okay, you know, we feel like we have a couple candidates that could be nasty closers. And we didn't go to those guys, and we'll start going to them. And then the other guys, you won't maybe not be, they might not be ready to be in that spot yet. So you use them in that 5th, 6th, 7th type inning. But you know, you find that the game's never over either. So it wasn't just our bullpen. If you go back and look, we left a lot of guys on base. We need to score more runs. We scored 5 and 5, and we score 7 and 7. We win the series. You know, 7 to 5, and I think we're capable of doing that. So it's a team game. It's not just our bullpen.
How does Tomas go from 3 home runs last season to 3 homers in 4 at-bats?
Hard work. You know, we talk about it all the time. It's a part of your character or it's not. If you learn to work hard, he has really committed himself to getting stronger, more physical. And he's also been a better listener. He's been in the cages and, you know, talking to Coach Weirs about the importance of getting the ball in the air to the pull side. Because if you've watched Tomas in his career, when he hits the ball hard, it's a top Johnson most of the time. When he's going good, he hits the ball in that right center gap. So keeping that same right center gap swing, but when you do get a hanging breaking ball or a fastball in, instead of just pulling it hard with top spin, you get that ball in the air, and he's been starting to do that. And I saw it in the preseason in BP. I'm like, well, this dude looks like he's going to have a breakout year.
With Mac, I mean, you've talked in the past about him maybe not being necessarily a natural hitter, and just how he'll kind of work himself to death to make sure he's in a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's in year 3 a little bit. It's just kind of finding a happy balance a little bit there for him is kind of the biggest key.
Yeah, like look at Mac today. The only time he gets himself in trouble is when he's so strong. He sees that fastball and he gets big. You know, he just takes that swing. I mean, you can almost hear the swing. When he stays quiet and stays within himself, you know, he's got unbelievable power and tools. But again, hard work. I mean, that kid lives in the cages. He doesn't look like he does without working hard, and he has made himself into a really good hitter. He wasn't a great hitter. He had bat speed when he got here, and hitting's hard. And the only way to get better at it is to get back there and to be open to what your hitting coach and Coach Wiersbicki is talking to you about, and then being able to feel those changes and make them. I mean, Matt can do the little things too. Like, I mean, the infield, they want to go back and drop a bunt down. He can steal bases, so he's learning. There's more to it than just trying to hit a home run.
Nat and Percival switching spots.
Yeah.
Maybe that just Percival got up there on Sunday.
Yeah, he got hot, and we've been feeling like Nab just didn't have he had a really good fall. You look at his numbers at the junior college, he didn't walk guys, pound his own. And sometimes you just have a bad preseason, and it takes another uniform, but he's a worker. And I saw it in that first time, like, okay, man, he's got his confidence back, and I saw it again today. But we did get Percival up, and we thought, okay, well, let's move Nap. And Nap responds, so if we want to go off 4 days, Nap's a big horse. I mean, he could probably off 2 days.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that, but he can be ready to start for us on Sunday if we want.
That was kind of the next question.
Yeah.
There is that also part of the thought process.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, because I think if you look at a Sunday starter traditionally, you get a guy like that out there that's starting to get his confidence, that has plus command that you have to beat. That's a good feeling,
Yeah.
And an older guy, a guy that didn't have a lot of success when he went to UNC Wilmington, and he went to Walter State, and we went to see him, and he wasn't quite good enough, and he didn't commit anywhere, and Coach Gaines went back and thought he had gotten good enough, and we offered him, and I love kids like that. Like, this is where they want to be, and we're lucky to have him because he could have signed professionally.
Coach, at the plate, Osuna had his first hit today, which was coincidentally a home run. But what do you kind of expect out of him in the rest of the season? His bat specifically, I know he drew a walk or two, and he had that hand surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you kind of expect out of his bat?
I mean, the more he hits, the more at bats and live pitching he gets, the better he's going to get. His timing will get better. He's so strong. He's such a worker. But at the end of the day, this kid didn't swing a bat for about almost 4 weeks, and then he's in the lineup as soon as he tells me he can swing the bat. So even when Johnny comes back, Johnny's been able to do everything. Johnny just hasn't been cleared. So when Johnny gets cleared, he's available for the weekend. But Alberto, he couldn't swing a bat. So that tells you how talented he is. But I think his timing will just get better and better and better. When he's on time, obviously, he's really dangerous. So, and that's why I put him in the 5-hole today. I'm like, okay, he's going to be one of our top 5 hitters. I don't care what his numbers look like right now. He tells me he feels great, so I need to get him in there and get as many at-bats as we can.
So Johnny's day-to-day, I guess?
Johnny's clear Thursday.
He's cleared.
Cleared to play this weekend.
And what was
Yeah.
his injury again?
Johnny had a blood clot, and he had to. I think I'm okay to say that, but I'm pretty sure. But he's cleared this week after the medication runs its course, and he can be cleared to play on Thursday.
Good. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Check and make sure that's okay. I think it is. Everybody else knows.
Thanks, Coach.
Tomas, how do you go from 3 home runs last season to 3 home runs and 4 at-bats today?
I think,
In the last two games?
I think it's just hard work that I've put in this fall, working back there with Coach Weirs and everything, just sticking my routine and also getting stronger in the gym. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life right now, so definitely those things.
And the way Coach Forbes talked, your approach at the plate, trying to pull the ball when you hit it hard?
Not necessarily pull the ball, but I want my misses to be in the air pull side, so that kind of goes with staying on the ball. So I'm really thinking right center, but once I get that pitch in, just kind of react and let my hands work.
But you did all the hard work in the offseason. Does this still surprise you, this much power this soon?
No, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I've always had it in there. I just kind of untapped it now, so.
Coach talked the other day that he felt like, coming out of last season, that maybe you felt as if there were some maybe situations, like learning shortage and stuff like that, where like, you just felt like you could do better. Just how much of a kind of driving force was that for you just over the course of the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, it starts with, like, my heart was always beating fast and fast. I'm a high energy guy, and I kind of get really amped up. So kind of going into the box, I'm really not thinking about much. Just make sure I'm doing my routine over and over, and it just kind of calms me down.
How much of a difference would you say, I mean, I know that was also a talking point for you coming off your freshman year as well. I guess, how much of a significant difference is it from year 1, year 2 to year 3, I guess?
It's just getting better and better. I mean, last year I started off hot, then kind of fell off my ACC play. So in the first year, I felt like I didn't really do it all year, but so it's just getting better and better.
But then overall as a team, the first homestand, you guys had 5 home runs. You had 5 today. How do you explain that?
I mean, Coach Forbes said on week 1, I mean, first couple weeks, we're just trying to get the ball in play, singles and doubles, and the power's going to come. So I guess we're just trying to trust it and stay with our routines, and power's coming. So.
How did you see, I mean, from behind the plate, how did you see the pitching do today? Specifically, those last 4 guys that gave up 0 hits, 0 runs, and 8 strikeouts.
Really good. We've been doing the same thing over. Like, I love how we attack everyone. I feel like tonight, coming off the weekend where we made some mistakes and 2 strike counts, I feel like tonight we didn't do that once. We might have done it once, but got away with it. So I felt like in that area we were a lot better tonight. So just continue to grow and learn.
This guy right here, obviously some high power stuff there. Just what do you like about what he's been able to bring to you guys going back to the game?
I mean, high velo guy, great. He can throw any pitch for a strike whenever he wants. Yeah, I mean, wipeout stuff. So we're excited to have him.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Fritz. Congratulations, buddy. VP. Great outing.
Thank you.
So you struck out 4 of the 6 batters.
Yeah.
What was going well for you?
Slider, like usual. Gaines jokes him out. I have more control of the slider than the fastball, which is kind of odd for a high power guy. But just continuing to use that in whatever count really helps.
Where do you think your speed was on your fastball today?
I have no idea.
Talking about that slider a little bit,
Yeah.
just kind of how is that? I mean, when is it you exactly started throwing it? And just kind of how is that confidence just progressively built in your career?
I started throwing it probably sophomore year of high school, and then just once I got to college, the command wasn't great, so I had to figure out a pitch that I could land for strikes, steal strikes with, and then it just progressively got better.
Is that something you really started tapping into more last year, or has it been just over the last 2
Yeah,
years?
probably since the back end of my freshman year, just throwing it whenever, you just get guys off the heater.
Yeah.
How do you think the pitching staff in particular has kind of learned and evolved, specifically from the series last week, and then today with both the starter and then your bullpen doing 14 strikeouts over the whole game?
Yeah, so we focused on this week executing 2 strike counts. So once we got put an emphasis on that, I think guys really locked in with 2 strikes. So that helps get guys out and punch guys out.
You're obviously a veteran and everything, but I mean, this past weekend maybe a little bit sort of different, I guess, environment than what you've been in previously.
Yeah.
So I guess what was that like?
Yeah, well, I actually pitched there my freshman year. A little bit different, but yeah, the jungle is pretty wild. The atmosphere feels like they're all on top of you, but I think that it would have gone better if I executed the 2 strike pitches a little bit better. Would have quieted them down, but that's a fun atmosphere to play in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we haven't really talked to any bullpen guys about this, but I mean, how valuable do you think that experience will be just kind of going forward, especially to get it so early?
Yeah, there's not going to be many places that we play that are like that, but I think that that's going to be a learning experience for especially a lot of the young guys, where they got to hear it down the bullpen and then go out there. It makes the game slow down when you're not quite in that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Benny.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you.